Hey everybody, it's me again. Some of you guys just saw me a couple minutes ago, but I was doing a Zoom for you guys about how to work your business, and it was a really important part in the beginning that I totally forgot to record. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just meant for me to go live and talk about this in the page. So I am excited to be here. I'm so excited about the big announcement that's coming up on the 29th. I have no idea what it is. Somebody the other day said, I think you know. They don't tell me anything. I find out when everybody else finds out. But I am so excited. I know it's going to be huge because 2021 is our 20-year anniversary or 20-year birthday or whatever you want to call it for It Works. And I know they will not disappoint. They will be way over the top with whatever happens. I'm so pumped. So if you've slacked at all in your business, it's time to pick it back up and get running, because on the 29th, we're going to have tools in our hand that can change all of our lives even more than before. I highly, highly, highly believe that. So on the Zoom that we just had, I went over how to use this planner that I created for you guys. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put the digital link in the comments for the digital download. There will also be printed options for you guys. But I just want to go through what all this entails. So a year ago, I had this idea. I'm a planner nerd. Like, I love a good planner. I used to spend like $75, $80 on a planner, Erin Condren planner. I got one right here. I think I paid $65 for this one. There's nothing special about this planner, and it really wasn't set up to work the way that I wanted it to. Same thing. I paid for a customizable cover on this one in 2017. Like, I love planners. And so I had this idea a year ago. I've got like 5 of these, that I wanted to create a planner for us that was exactly what we needed for our business, and also to keep us on track with our personal stuff as well. And I realized in doing that, in trying to develop that I don't even really know what my system is. And I was just sharing with the team on the Zoom just a few minutes ago that consistently since I started this business, every year, Allie Antonacci or Chantel Lyons, which are several Ambassador Diamonds up from us, name me as one of the top 10 or 15 or how many ever they do enrollers on their entire team. But I'm not happy with that, because very few times have anybody in my downline, on my team, been named with me. I want you guys to do more enrollments than me. I want you guys to be there as well, because I know when you do that, then your checks are going to go up, and we're just going to be having a great time together running our businesses. So when I decided to create this planner, I wanted to streamline what it was in my head and turn it into a planner, because you get to a point in your business where you wake up and you know what to do and you do it and you don't even really think about it. And that's when you get to that point, it becomes harder to teach. And so that is when I started seeing people getting frustrated with their business, people quitting, people saying they were on their phone 24/7, neglecting their families. And you guys, what I just shared with them is I'm going on 7 years in this business. Never once have I ever felt like I wanted to quit this business. Most of the time when people quit, it's not because they aren't doing well or because they don't like the business itself. Most of the time when people quit, in my experience in the past 7 years, is because they're on their phone 24/7 and neglecting their family. And so they're like, this is not okay. The business has to go. Instead of shifting gears, adjusting their sales, and figuring out how to make it work, they quit. So I wanted in this planner a streamlined system where you can get done what you need to do. First of all, have it lined out for you. What are the main things that are going to bring in enrollments? And then how to kind of like, have little check-offs to where you've done your job for the day, and then put your phone down and spend time with the other things that are important in your life. This business is important. You're here for a reason. But if it's the only thing you're spending time on, where does that leave you? Not in a good place, right? So that's what this was. This was a dream that started a year ago. It took me 6 months to even really figure out what my systems were, because they were just all in my head. And then for another 6 months after I really streamlined what it was that I was doing that was bringing in the enrollments, I was like, okay, here's what I think it is that I'm doing. You know, like I said, you just wake up and you're like, okay, I'm going to do this today. And you just know and you do it. But coming into the business, it's not that way. And I know that. So I figured for 6 months, I figured it out. And then for 6 months, I used it to make sure that that was my system. So this has been a year in the making. And when I sat down and I tallied up, like, okay, I've been using this system for 6 months, or how many ever days it was when I counted. It had been 128 days, and I had enrolled 129 people. So I am super proud that I'm averaging one a day. And that's what I want for you guys too. I want you guys to be able to, you know, do your steps to success. The company says that for you to have a thriving, healthy business, you should shoot for 6 customers a month and 3 distributors a month. And none of you guys have trouble enrolling customers. None of you do. But I think that we need to focus more on enrolling distributors. And this is going to help you do that as well in a way where you don't feel panicked about it. You don't ever feel like, I don't know what to do. You don't ever feel like I'm bugging the crap out of my people. So I'm going to put the digital download in the comments. If you don't have it, please do. I don't know that there's a need for you to print out all the sheets, but at least print off maybe even just a week at a time the section that looks like this. So you've got your week at a glance section. But even if you don't print this off, most planners are going to have the week at a glance section in your calendar. So I'm just going to go through a little bit real quick. You guys are welcome to chime in and ask any questions that you have. So right there in the beginning is going to be your pep talk. I want you guys to read that. It's important. It's important that you make a decision to commit to your business, and that you know that it's not all rainbows and sunshine all the time. But if you commit to it, you make a decision, the majority of it is going to be pretty freaking amazing. Now, the very next thing is 52 quality time ideas. This has nothing to do with It Works, but also everything to do with It Works too. So you printed them all? Good. Well, yeah, good. Okay, so 52 quality time ideas. Why did I put that? I put that because I know for me as a mom, sometimes, like I was just telling them on the Zoom, I just cannot go fish one more time. And whenever I ask my kids, what do you want to do today? They're like, let's go play basketball. And sometimes, you know, I just want to do different things. And so I wrote down some ideas, whether you're a mom, whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship. A lot of these can be used in any situation. So put your phone down and spend time with yourself. Spend time with your family. Fill your own cup. You cannot be any good to anybody if your mental health is not in a place that it needs to be. And if you're not filling your own cup on a daily basis and spending quality time with your family, not a daily basis, sometimes a daily basis, that's not what I meant to say, on a regular basis, then you're not any good to yourself. You're not any good to anybody else. So make sure that you are investing into yourself, you're investing into your family, and you're investing your time into your business as well. So that's why I put those there, because I just truly believe that one of the main reasons I've never felt like I wanted to quit this business, one of the main reasons that I have suffered very little mom guilt because of this business, because we all go through that sometimes, is because I have learned, one of the things that Pam Souter says is to make sure that you are achieving as close to balance as possible. She says you'll never achieve perfect balance, and you won't, because you'll think you're there, but really, it's really just on its way to shifting this way. And then you'll try to balance again, but really it's just on its way to shifting this way. But your job is to recognize when that shift happens and shift it back the other way, okay? So one of the main things that I learned from hearing Pam Souter talk about this is one of the main keys to achieving that, so that almost balance, is to not drop the same ball 2 days in a row. So if you feel like one day you do feel a little bit of that mom guilt and you're like, the next day you're going to make sure that you maybe pick one of these 52 quality time ideas and make sure you make eye contact with your kids, make sure your phone is in the other room, make sure you're giving them what you want to give them and what they need from you. All right, so let's get to business. 4 main puzzle pieces in this business. First of all, before I say anything about that, 2 things that we are constantly trying to do in this business, something you should do daily, is create new leads, or potential customers, potential distributors. That's what I'm calling a lead. So you're doing things to create new leads daily, but you're also doing things to turn those leads you already have into customers or distributors. So if all we're doing is generating new leads, and then we're waiting for those leads to come to us when they're ready, you're not going to have a whole lot of enrollments. So we want to be generating new leads, but also spending time turning those leads into customers and distributors. So in order for you to really wrap your mind around that, one of the things that I'm going to take just a second to explain to you is the science of what's happening in your potential customer's mind, your potential distributor's mind, as you're communicating with them. Because if you guys can really wrap your head around what I'm about to say, and you're committed to loving them through the follow-up process, there's no holding you back. None at all. So I know a lot of you guys have heard me talk about this before because it is so important that you understand, and I'm going to keep talking about it forever until I die. So I have paid for trainings on this subject outside of the trainings that we get for It Works. And what I've learned is 80% of sales happens on the 7th to 12th follow-up. It's not It Works science. It is proven psychological science. And why is that? If you know that fact and you keep reciting that number to yourself, but you really don't understand why that is a fact, it can become, you can start to tell yourself, I'm bothering them. They'll come to me when they're ready. You start to tell yourself all these things. But if you understand why it's happening, you can help them get to the product, get to the business that they initially were so excited to be a part of. So here's what happens. Every single time we make a purchase, or every single time we make any sort of decision, there's an internal battle going on in our mind. We all have it. We have a conscious mind and we have a subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is put in place to do a lot of things, but one of the things is to protect us, okay? So when you're so wrapped up in what you're doing as a distributor, don't forget that your potential distributor or potential customer has a completely different thought process going on in their mind. And this is what's happening. So the potential customer sees your post, let's just say. Maybe they're a host for you. And then they're like, I want to know about that. Whatever the case may be, it's the initial contact. It's the first time the idea of, let's just say, ThermoFight has entered their mind. So their conscious mind is like, oh, this post looks cool. I'm going to ask her about it. And they message you. And, which, by the way, that doesn't happen often. Most of the time, your customers are not going to come directly to you through your post. And we'll get to that on later trainings. But, okay, so they're like, oh, yay. I'm going to message her. They message you. And your subconscious mind is down here. And it says, you bought a bottle of something at Walmart last month. And you've only taken half of it. And then you stopped. You're not wasting any more money. And your conscious mind over here, you're releasing endorphins. You're feeling good. You're excited about something. It really happens. It's a chemical process that happens when you get excited about the possibility of making a purchase. You release endorphins. And so you're like, oh, but wait, this is different. And look, she's lost 15 pounds. And I think I trust her. Look, she looks trustworthy. And your subconscious mind is like, this is a stranger on the internet. Do not get out your credit card. And your conscious mind is like, oh, okay. And you scroll on past it and you may never think about it again. But they've messaged you, right? So you know they were interested. So if you're committed and you understand all this that's going on in their head, you're committed to loving them through the follow-up process, eventually what's going to happen, and I'm going to demonstrate this for you, is that your subconscious mind and your conscious mind are going to line up and they're going to make the purchase. So 80% of sales happens on the 7th to 12th follow-up. So what that means is if you're not loving your people through the follow-up process at least 7 to 12 times, you are only enrolling 20% of what you could be enrolling, because 80% of sales happens on the 7th to 12th follow-up. Somebody put that in the comments, please. 80% of sales happens on the 7th to 12th follow-up. So what happens is, conscious mind, subconscious mind. This is your excited part. This is your protective part. You message them back and you're like, hey, I just wanted to make sure that last message made it to you. Did you get it? Were you still interested? Whatever. And they're like, oh, yeah, I want it. Subconscious mind, put the card back. But your subconscious mind, again, you're releasing endorphins, and your subconscious mind is thinking every single dang time she sees posts by this girl, she feels good. What the freak is up with that? And your conscious mind is like, I know, I'm telling you, I want to buy this. Y'all know, y'all have had those internal struggles in your mind, right? And meanwhile, even maybe your conscious mind might even be saying, and look, she's making a killing. I might even want to do it for a business. And your subconscious mind is like, no, it's a scam. You know, that kind of thing. So, but you've followed up and you've helped the subconscious mind and conscious mind think about it again, which is valuable. Okay, so you follow up again and you're like, hey, I got 3 discounted spots left today for that ThermoFight. Are you interested? And your subconscious mind may be like, well, she's hung with us this long. If she was a scammer, she'd probably be moving on to someone else by now. And your conscious mind is like, see, I told you. And you follow up with them again the next day and you're like, hey, did my last message make it to you? And you continue to love them through the follow-up process. And the subconscious mind becomes comfortable with the idea of you, with the idea of the product. And the subconscious mind gives your conscious mind permission to move forward. So what I have found is that with follow-up, people are like, yeah, I know, I got to follow up a lot. But they're spreading out the follow-up too far. And so what happens is you follow up, they get a little closer, and then as time passes, they do this. So by the time you follow up again a month later, 2 weeks later, whatever, you're right back to square one where you started. So what I found when I was going through my systems that I was trying to get out of my mind onto paper was that I track everything. I write everything down. I write down what the customer's order, the BV, their ID number, where they're placed in my chart. I write down also how long it took them to enroll. So I scroll back up to the beginning of the conversation, and I was finding myself writing 8 months, 2 years, 7 months, 6 months, far too long. And so that is when I remembered about all of this stuff that I had learned in the training that I paid for and let it leave my mind. So I'm like, okay, well, let's play with this and let's see. Let's put this to the test. And if I follow up with them daily and let less time pass, let's see what happens. So let me just pull out my notebook where I track I'll tell you. This month, December, one of the hardest months to enroll, according to some people. 1 day, 2 days, 1 month, 2 weeks. There was a 6 years, so you're going to have those trickle into 1 day, 7 months, 4 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So see, when you do this, you are going to enroll faster and you're going to enroll more. So you have to love them through that follow-up process. Okay. So, everything we do, if what you're doing is not creating new leads or turning those leads into customers or teammates, you need to reevaluate. So then breaking that down a little bit further, there's 4 main things that we do: posting, messaging, following up, and expanding your friends list or expanding your network. So we're not going to talk about all those today. Okay, so what you'll also see in the digital download that I'm going to put in the comment section of this video is a lot of wording. So what I wanted was for every single situation that you could run into with follow-up to be here. For you to say, oh, she didn't respond. Okay, so my person didn't respond. Let me open it up. Let me see what I can say to her. And there's a couple of options. And then it's when they've been dragging their feet and won't get off the fence for too long. Then it tells you kind of how to swap gears and talk about something else instead, but you're keeping that conversation alive, okay? When the company announces sales, what can you say when you're following up? When someone tells you they can't afford it, what can you say when you're following up? The next part is wording for bringing up the business. I just did the math for the people who were on the Zoom, and I'm going to share that with you guys too here in just a second. But what I want you to really wrap your mind around is that there is far more money, and you can be far more of a blessing to far more people through inviting them in to do this business with you and use our products too if they want. Instead of just inviting them to use the products. So if you look at the math, you could enroll 75 Pick 3 customers. That's 45 BV each. If you keep every single one of them underneath you, that is $500. 75 customers. You've enrolled 75 people and made $500. $500 is good, but you can enroll 4 people and make more than that. You can enroll 4 distributors, teach them to get customers, and you're going to have more than $500. So would you rather enroll 75 people, or would you rather enroll 4 and then also get extra commissions, a little bit of commission off of everything they sell as well? So I want you to set your intention every single time you sit down to work that every person you talk to needs this business. They do. Everybody needs more money, more positivity, a healthier lifestyle, more friends, a supportive circle. You cannot show me anybody in this world that doesn't need something that this business can offer them. People are praying prayers every single day for an answer that our business is a solution for. I mean, I did before I started this business. Wasn't open to a business like this, but I prayed that prayer many times for an answer for me not to have to leave my babies, for us to not have to struggle paycheck to paycheck. But I never would have made it known. Never. So if I hadn't been exposed to this, then I don't know what would have happened. So every time you sit down, set your intention that I can be a blessing to this person through exposing them to this business. So a lot of times we do set our intention, but then we get nervous. We don't know what to say. The planner digital download in the comments is going to have different wording that you can use in different situations. So right after they host a post for you, what can you say to invite them into the business? Okay, maybe you didn't invite them right after. Maybe it's been a day or so. Maybe it's been a week or so. There's wording for that as well. Bringing up the business to someone who's ready to order a product. Bringing up the business to a current customer. What can you say to them? It's all listed in there, so please take a look at it. Yep, all that is in there. All right, so what do I do? What do I do on a daily basis? What can you do to make sure that you're growing? So like I said, posting. You're going to want to post daily about something to do with the business. Maybe it's your excitement over something that just happened. I just saw Sierra posted the other day that she had gotten one of her Christmas cash bonuses, and she was so excited. It was the first time she'd ever gotten payment from It Works. And things like that, you guys. Like after the transfer fees and stuff, I think she got $18, but people were like commenting and chiming in and cheering her on. When you let people in on your excitement over what you're doing and not just throwing product posts at them all the time, you're going to get so many people in your corner. They may not join your team, but they're going to be rooting for you. They're going to order your products, and they may come around to join your team too after that. But let people in on your excitement. That is so important. So posting daily about something about the business, posting daily about something about a product, posting daily about something that has nothing to do with It Works. I sprinkle those in my posts. I sprinkle them in my stories. I trickle over to Instagram and TikTok every now and then, but I am not an expert on either one of those. Facebook for me is where it's at. I know there's a lot of people who thrive on just Instagram or just TikTok, so I'm not saying it's got to be Facebook, but for me, that's where I thrive. All right, so every day, can you look for 5 to 10 new interested people? Doesn't sound like a lot, does it? And it's really not. I mean, like, you can do that pretty quickly. But every day you need to be looking for 5 to 10 new interested people. I call them hot leads that I write down in my planner. So I have this week at a glance section in my planner. Let me find a blank one. Week at a glance section. On Monday, you're going to find 5 to 10 new hot leads and you're going to write them here. On Tuesday, what are we going to do? You guessed it. We're going to follow up with all these people. What do you say? Flip back a few pages. It's all in there. So follow up with all these people and then find 5 to 10 new hot leads to write here. On Wednesday, yep, you're loving them through the follow-up process. Those Monday people are closer to that 7 to 12 follow-up, right? So you're going to follow up with Monday, follow up with Tuesday, and you're going to find 5 to 10 new hot leads and write them on Wednesday. On Thursday, guess what you're going to do? You're going to follow up with these people, these people, these people, and find 5 to 10 new hot leads. On Friday, I'm going to do it again. Here we go. We're going to follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, and find 5 to 10 new hot leads. On Saturday, same exact thing. Follow up with all the people, and you're going to find 5 to 10 new hot leads. Now, Sundays, I've committed to my kids to take those Sundays off, so this is going to be blank a lot of times for me. I know a lot of you guys take a Sabbath, and that is wonderful. So, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so the next Monday rolls around. If you're following this process and you're just doing that and you're not like culling out the ones that are not hot leads anymore, all you're going to be doing is follow up and you're still not going to get completely finished with that each day. So on the next week, so when you come to this next Monday, you're going to follow up with all these people one more time. Now, I highly realize that these people have been followed up with a whole lot more than the people you met here. So what you're doing when you follow up with them again is you're going to decide, are they still a hot lead? So something might have happened to where you're like, I don't even want to talk to her anymore. But just because they've stopped responding to your messages is not a reason to not follow up with them anymore. Now, they may say, I had a lot of people who said, I still want to, but I want to after Christmas. So then I would flip over and write them down after Christmas to make sure that I followed up with them or whatever the case may be. So my list stays about the same size every day. So 30, if I got exactly, I mean, not every day, I'm sorry, every week. So if I'm finding 5 new people a day for 6 days a week, that's 30 people. If I'm finding 10, that's 60. So I work following up with around 30 to 60 people a week. And I spend a whole lot more time following up on the later in the week than I do at the beginning of the week for obvious reasons. So when you get to the new week, follow up one more time and decide, am I going to transfer these people's names over to here? Some of them will get transferred, some of them won't. Go with your gut. But err on the side of, yeah, I'm going to continue to love them through the follow-up process. You're going to write them down on Monday. Here's something I forgot to say on the Zoom. So you're transferring those people over, so you're wanting to try to find 5 to 10 new hot leads, but then you've got all these other names listed in here, so it's hard to kind of see who's a hot lead, who's a new hot lead, and who's the old hot lead that you're just still following up with. So here's what I do to just kind of keep track of that is, if they're a new hot lead, I write them in all caps. If they're not, if it's somebody I'm just transferring over, then I write them regular. So that's kind of helped me differentiate. So when you do that, you're going to see that you have so many more enrollments because you are helping that subconscious mind and that conscious mind line up with the thing that they wanted. Their subconscious mind just needed a little help getting convinced, you know what I mean? They were excited to do it, but this subconscious mind down here is built to protect them from all those crazy scammers that are out there, thankfully, right? We just got to show them that we're safe, the products work, the business works. And remember, if you follow up and then let too much time pass, you started back at square one. So love them through that follow-up process, and you're going to do that every day. So we're spending a ton of time on follow-up. So all those other things that are out there, we have so many wonderful resources, amazing resources that I'm so thankful for. But at the same time, sometimes it's hard to cut through the clutter and figure out what is it that I actually need to make sure that I'm doing. Because you see this new shiny thing over here and you're like, oh, I'm going to go try that. And then you never really get good at it before there's a new shiny thing over here that somebody else is doing, getting enrollments from. But you're trying all the new shiny things and you're not focusing on the things that actually bring in enrollments. Okay. So everybody needs to be posting, messaging, following up, and expanding their network. And if you're working to fill this out and go by these steps that it says in here of what you're doing every day, and those enrollments will happen, and you're going to get your system down to a science where it's second nature to you, and you're going to see that shiny thing and you're like, oh, I've only been working an hour and I've still got time left. I'm going to go try my hand at that shiny thing. But you're going to make sure you do those core things. All right, so down at the bottom, tells you here how to use it, but down at the bottom, see there's a line there, you're putting your hot leads up here, and down here you're writing your hosts. I hope every single one of you is working host to post every single day. If you don't know what host to post is, get with your upline. Y'all haven't gotten to that point in your training yet, but it is a huge tool to grow your business. So at the bottom I write my hosts. And that's where I can keep track of who said they were going to post, who actually posted, have I entered them in the giveaway or not, and all that stuff. So posting, messaging, following up, you're going to check your old posts and stuff and all that. So one other little fun thing that you'll see in the planner is on the bottom part of Sunday, there's like stretch missions. It's what I like to call them. So some of it has to do with your own self-care. Some of it has to do, oh, somebody just said they enrolled. Woo, woo, woo. I need to check that and see because I didn't get the notification. Some of it has to do with growing your business and stretching yourself there. Some of it has to do with just spending quality time with your family. So look down there, like, sometime this week, make a post about something you didn't expect to be so awesome about this business. Sometime this week, tell your family that you are so grateful for their support. We forget to do that sometimes, don't we? Sometime this week, show yourself making or using a product. Sometime this week, make a post about your next goal in your business and how you know you will accomplish it. Sometime this week, share someone else's success story in the business. So there's all kinds of different little ideas there. So all the things, okay, so posting. This doesn't help you post. There are so many resources. If you go to the 30 days of post, if you don't know what I'm talking about, get with your upline. They've probably got that link saved. I know I do in my word board. There is a post in our Vision Casters page that has 90 posts lined out for you. And you know what I see so often? If you guys have done this, you are not alone. But I see new distributors skipping over the ones that talk about the business and just posting out the product. Don't do that. You're selling yourself short. You're in this business to make money. You're in this business to help people. You are going to make more money and help more people if you have more people joining your team. I mean, we have to sell products too. If you have 7,000 distributors join your team today, you make $0 if nobody sells any product. So I'm not devaluing enrolling customers at all. I just want you guys to make sure that you are focusing, setting that intention daily at the beginning of your work time, that every single person you talk to is worthy of an invite on to this team. And you're worthy of being their coach through this. I cannot tell you how often a new distributor will tell me, I don't want to bring a new distributor on the team because I don't think I would be as good as trainer as you. Well, guess what? I'm their trainer too. And I started at square one too. And we all fumbled through it together. And we had so much fun. And you guys, so in the beginning when we were just like ignorance on fire, so many people want to enroll or join the team of someone who's a professional at it. So many people want to join this business with someone who's been there, done that, knows exactly what to do. But there's just as many people who are intimidated by that, and they don't want to join with somebody who knows what they're doing. I know it's crazy, but it's true. So there's lots of people who would rather join with someone who's as new as them, and they can fumble through it together. So do not post about your excitement about this business. Do not skip over those business posts. That is all lined out for you. You'll also learn a lot about posting through Copying the Right Cat. You'll meet a lot of It Works friends. You'll get exposed to a lot of It Works leaders just by sifting through this page and the Visioncasters page. And you can go to their pages and you can see how they're posting, and you can emulate that. Copy and paste what they're saying, tweak it to make it match your story, and take a selfie similar to what they took if you want to make it, Copy the Right Cat. If what someone's doing is working, I'm copying it. And I've been in this business going on 7 years now. But it takes so much guesswork out of it when I have to just create all my posts. So posting, we've gone over that. Messaging, we've gone over that. You're going to do that through your host of posts. If you're working your business and you think like I do, that's where most of my messaging comes from. It's great because with host of posts, one of the things people get scared about in this business is like bugging people. So with host of posts, you're messaging people who are waiting for you to message them. They've already expressed an interest in the business or the product. So really dig into host of posts if you're not doing it. That should be something that you're doing daily. Posting, messaging. We've talked so much about follow-up and expanding your network. So those are the 4 puzzle pieces. And what do I mean by expanding your network? If you're working your business on social media, then that means expanding your friends list. Host of post is going to do that for you too. So you need to be doing host of post. Y'all, my throat is so dry. I'm down to the bottom of my water. So I'm excited. Y'all get organized. Y'all try this method. See what you think. I've had a couple people doing it already, and they're saying that they're loving it. You do not have to use this planner. You do not have to even print out the digital download that I'm going to put here in the comments. Like I said, for 6 months, I've been doing this in my little planner I got at Walmart. So just the week at a glance section works just fine. Plus, sometimes they take the words right out of your mouth. They take the word. Who does? Sometimes they take the word. I don't remember what I said. I don't know what you responded to. I'm so excited for 2021, you guys. I can feel it in my bones. I know big things are coming. It's just all lining up. So, I want to know, do you guys pick a word for the year? I have done that for the past probably 6 years. And I always pray about it and ask God what word He wants me to focus on and kind of be my theme for the year. And it's always interesting. One year the word was hashtags. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm sure you'll reveal it to me. And He sure did. One year it was the number 10. Last year my word was awakening. And this year, this is my word. Chosen. That's my word. And, oh yeah, about you. Yes, sometimes you're looking at somebody else's post and you're like, I think I wrote that because that just describes me. Exactly. So that's how this, I was struggling for a name for the planner, and God had obviously given me the word chosen. And the front of the planner says, note to self, I will live like I'm chosen because I am. And I was like, what am I going to call this planner? All the things that described what the planner was, like quality creator, or stupid stuff. It just sounded so technical. And Chase was like, well, why don't you use your word? God gave you. I was like, oh my gosh, yes. So 2021, my word is chosen, and we are all chosen. We're chosen to be exactly where we are in this moment, right now, today. Whether you're watching this live or watching the playback, there's a reason that you're watching it, and you are chosen to live the life that you're living. God decided to send you to this world. He equipped you with specific gifts and talents with specific desires, some things that other people don't desire. He gave you your shortcomings. He gave you your mistakes. He allowed you to make those mistakes to get you exactly where you are today. And what you do with that is totally up to you, but you're chosen to live this life, and I want you to make the most of it. I'm so excited. Y'all make sure that you watch, if you can, on the 29th on Mark Pentecost's page. It's at 11 o'clock Central, I think 12 o'clock Eastern. All the announcements. They have said that they are going to be something we've never done. Huge, exciting things. Something about product and something about money for us. So 29th. I know a lot of people are going to be working. It's going to be around lunchtime. Maybe you can take a longer lunch. But it's going to be awesome. Y'all hold on to your hat. I'm so pumped. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.